Look, guys, they do have water. Rocket Lab, we're talking constellations, we're talking satellites, but we are the Hustle Brothers. My name's Liam.
And I'm Reese.
And really, guys, we're here for our personal journey. By no way are we rocket engineers or specialists. So, if anything, you guys will probably know more than us when it comes to the actual ins and outs of the rockets themselves. However, we are very passionate about the space industry. And guys, we just want to be an open book. You're here just seeing the average guy's thoughts on why we invest in Rocket Lab and like what is swaying our decisions. So Reese, I'm going to throw it over to you. Do you want to tell the guys why we originally invested in Rocket Lab?
Yeah, so I think that to explain it really in its fullest, I'm going to have to bring you all the way back when we were invested in Virgin Galactic. Now, there might be a few new members here that haven't heard a story with Virgin Galactic, but if anyone who knows that stock, it didn't end well. But the only one saving grace from it was, whilst we were so invested in that, Rocket Lab sort of stumbled across our path, and we discovered a stock that really had the fundamentals in place and actually was a fully operational and well-run business. And from there, we sort of took it and we invested, and also we started researching heavily into it. And the more that we looked into it, the better it got. We really liked that the company seemed to, very similar to what we talk about with Joby, they seem to just deliver. Once they've actually got something done and complete, they just say, yeah, we just done this. There's no PR. You don't talk about it for 4 months like before you actually get the work done. You just tell, here you go, we've done this, guys. And on the earnings call again, they gave us another gem, which was the Flattellites, which I believe you're going to bring up for us now, Lynn, because it was good reading when I started. I've read over it, and I think we've highlighted it up here for the guys and girls.
So really, what I want to do is dive into Flatellite, and I want to give our thoughts on it, just reading this along. So, yes, we got introduced to Flatellite, but really, what is it, and why are we so bullish on the Flatellite itself? So, Rocket Lab announced the Flatellite, which was a new satellite designed for mass manufacture and tailored for large constellations. Guys, we now have the keys to space. Neutron is more or less over the line. Yes, you're going to say it's going to be the end of 25. Guys, I don't really care if it's the start of 26. 3 months, 4 months is not going to put us up or down. We're in this for the next 20, 30, 40 years. So I am completely bullish when it comes to the Flatellite, and we're going to tell you exactly why. So we're going to dive into this. So Rocket Lab introduced the Flatellite, which was a new satellite that can be produced in high volumes and tailored for large constellations and high-value applications. And they're even including the likes of national security missions, Race.
That's pretty topical at the moment, isn't it? With national security, we have just happened recently with the Ukraine, Zelensky, Trump meeting. And now obviously we have Israel and the way that there's war over there. So national security is always so prominent in every industry.
So speaking about Trump, I just think he is going to flood the market when it comes to money in the likes of security and defense. So I am really bullish to hear anything security based at the moment. However, we did find out that it's not only national security, but it's also commercial customers they're going after. Flatellite is a scalable, long life, high power, stackable satellite. And this is going to enable secure, low latency, high speed connectivity, and remote sensing capabilities. Now, I think everyone is aware of Starlink itself and really the Kuiper. But this is basically Rocket Lab's entry into the market. We're going to talk a little bit about it and how this is such good news in relation to the likes of Neutron coming out. Because you think Rocket Lab don't have to pay the same as the likes of Amazon have to pay for Kuiper to be launched prior to the New Glenn. But they now have the likes of Neutron once this goes online.
Yeah, just to jump in on that, I think it's obviously a bit worrying as investors when we see major players like Starlink and Kuiper, and with all the financial backing that they're going to get. But as we've seen, Rocket Lab just seem to keep ticking along, and usually they end up coming out on top. And
Yeah.
I think obviously what you're saying there about the fact that it's going to help with Neutron, like it just for me it seemed like another bit of great news, and a bigger reason to be bullish, an even bigger reason to be bullish.
Yeah, so really, I'm looking at it in a different sort of way. Like, guys, you can correct me on this, but this is my thought. We're so concentrated on what's Rocket Lab's next big move? What is their constellation going to be? But do we think that potentially this could be their next big move? This could be, instead
Yeah,
of having the constellation like Starlink, are they building constellations for different organizations and
yeah,
just operating them? And that
yeah,
way, Rocket Lab constantly have to replace them, and they have the likes of their own software in these. And then, really, it's as good as owning the constellation. I don't
yeah.
doubt for any fact that eventually Rocket Lab will have their own constellation. But do we think for now, having us operate and build and launch different constellations, this is like game changing?
I think one thing we know with Rocket Lab is they don't like to be reliant on anybody else. So in the short term, I could see them maybe using another or launching other satellite constellations, but I don't doubt that in the background that they'll be working on developing their own. And I
Yeah.
could see that being the long-term plan.
Like, what I'm going to do, I'm going to jump into the Flatellite key features. So Rocket Lab here have named that they have payload flexibility, they've high launch efficiency, high performance, and they're operating on their own secure software. So Rocket Lab's cyber secure Max Constellation flight software is their own. And this jumps back to the fact that, look, absolutely every part of this is Rocket Lab.
Yeah,
So
it's all vertically integrated.
yeah, so instead of having your own constellation, this is the next best thing, if anything.
Yeah. And that is one thing that I absolutely love about Rocket Lab, that they're so self-reliant that they don't worry about others, and if they do have to in the short term, they will find a route around it. And it just goes to show how impressive it is that they literally, the broad space that they cover every single aspect of it, like every
Yeah.
single part of the design, supply, and an install phase. And this is just another string to their bow.
Yeah, and then looking at this, like, this has made me more bullish than ever. Like, we've had that recent pullback, and I want to be dead honest with you guys. This is a big lesson for me. I don't really like to trade pre or post market. And I set limit orders. I set one at $16.50, I set another one at $16, and another at $15.50, and I was just following it down. And to be fair, I think we need to stay away from the likes of X, because we had people there saying it would go down to the low teens. Look, my 1650 got executed, and then look, that's all she wrote. We next pumped 20%. We're back to where we started. Guys, we've hit my buying range at the moment. Anything below $25, it is just buy. What are you thinking, Ray?
Yeah, like literally the same. I think we were both in the same thought when it went down to the 16. We were sort of trying to catch it at the bottom because we knew it's going to go back up. We were just trying to maximize that value. And then I remember just sitting there at work, and before I knew it, I literally looked back up, and it was 20% basically, and it's gone back up. And I was obviously it's brilliant for the investment we have already, but I wouldn't mind stocking up on a few extra shares at that great price.
Well, guys, like, I'm looking towards the end of the year of us being substantially higher than we are today. So, guys, look, you bought the company when it was down in the $4 range, $5 range. But now we're up at the $20 range. It seems like people are so scared to pull the trigger just in case we go back down there.
Yeah.
These are my thoughts. This is not financial advice, but I couldn't see us going that low again unless there was a massive, massive disaster.
Yeah.
Reese,
I,
what are your thoughts? Like, are you happy to keep buying?
I actually find it quite funny because me and a few of my friends have been buying in, and I've bought in at 27, and I've also bought in at 25, and I know a few of the guys that I've been sort of trading and talking and discussing with also bought in at 27s and 25, and as soon as they seen it gone down to 16.50, they were saying there was no chance that I'm getting involved now, like basically that it's all gone and stuff like that. Whereas I'm seeing it as a better opportunity because I believe eventually it's going to soar well past the 27s, 25s. And I find it so funny how quick that market sentiment goes, where everyone had so much confidence. People were trying to buy at 27 because they were thinking it was going to go to 40. And now it's gone to 16.50 and people are saying like, oh no, that's it. I don't believe it anymore. I think with these massive gains that we can make, you need to be also aware that you're going to get these corrections or these pullbacks. And to be honest, I would have been much more worried had it have been just Rocket Lab, but it was across the entire industry. We even seen Nvidia smashing earnings and they pulled back. So it would have made me a lot more concerned had it just been Rocket Lab and had there been a reason behind it. That's the other thing. There was like no actual rationale. Like we've seen this news with the Flatelites, and for some reason it's pulled back.
If you think about it, the day before, or was it 2 days before the earnings, we had that short report come out. But Peter Beck quickly put that to bed in the earnings call and said there's no delay on Neutron. And look, guys, they do have water. And guys, if you haven't seen, we've done another analysis on Rocket Lab, so make sure to check us out here.